It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
And well, we are back. This week,
Anonymous.
not Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't even have a little drinky drink. I should. Although today I am going to go to happy hour, so we'll see. We'll see. We are 2 out of the 3 of the controversy and chaos squad gang. Oh no, don't say gang because I don't want no RICO charges. But yeah, we are here. Welcome to another episode, a Hot Topics episode. And honestly, there's only but so many things that everyone is talking about. I feel like we got rid of Drake and Kendrick and that whole saga. Technically, it's still on my timeline because people still breaking stuff down. But the diddler has saved Drake's ass.
Yeah.
So honestly,
it went
let's
from
just get in.
They Not Like Us to BBL to well, Diddy. What you got for us next?
Literally.
So, the boys have been keeping us entertained. It's keeping the girls in the clear. I could do a little while longer without any other girl drama.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. There's still a little girl drama broom, but nothing important enough to really shake up the airwaves. But I'm assuming by now you've seen the Diddy video that was quote unquote leaked on CNN.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I feel like I don't like to consume that type of content anymore because when you're online, and yes, that's coming from somebody who watches Zeus, but see, that's different. They're volunteering to beat each other's ass. Okay. What we saw on CNN and on all the blogs was not voluntary assault. Okay. I just feel like from the beginning, we have always known the rumors and different things about Diddy, but for whatever reason, whether it was like our parents' age groups or whatever, nobody wanted to really believe it. Or if they did believe it, they didn't care to do anything about it. They wanted to make it very lighthearted and whatever.
They always
but
and not like
the truth, right? And even with that, it's like, okay, we already believed Cassie. Okay, did he come? We didn't need the video, but now that we have it, I'm just happy to see all of the people who had so much to say, making it seem like she was money grabbing and doing this and doing that. Now you're back apologizing.
$1,000 to somebody who's with a millionaire, whatever he is. What is $50,000?
What you mean? Well, $50,000 is what he paid to quote unquote get the tapes in his possession, but that lawsuit was $30 million.
Oh, her lawsuit was $30 million.
Yeah.
Well, still,
yeah. I would say still that ain't enough.
It's a one-time payment, like, and I think what's even more interesting is that people think that a victim would fabricate such a detailed story because she went in great detail the abuse that she endured all of that time, and for us to literally see it played out, it's like you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. And my initial thoughts when I seen that video was like, wow, I'm sure that he can't mention her name. And I also seen people talking about like how he can't technically mention her name anyway, which explains why at the BET Awards a couple years ago, he spoke, I don't know the word for it, but he was like insinuating he was heartbroken. He went through heartbreak. And he had this great breakup and he's healing. That's when he started rebranding himself as Love. It really kind of explains that it lays out that he was hiding under a veil this whole time.
Yeah, his whole career. It's like he literally is who he tried to paint Suge Knight to be. I mean, Suge Knight still he's still Suge Knight, but I'm saying Diddy is just as bad, if not worse, because I truly feel that Diddy has had more power and influence than any other entertainer in the Black community. So it's kind of like, you know, but even going back to that whole BET Awards thing, I really feel like something was brewing then, because knowing what we know now, Cassie might have been trying to get like her rights, her publishing, her name, her whatever, because we know now that he pretty much owned her and her whole career. Same accountant, same manager, same everything. And I feel like at that point she was already married and I think pregnant or just had her baby. And I feel like at that point maybe she was trying to get back into the industry, do some acting, do whatever. And he was like low key blocking. And I feel like if he would have never, something would have come about, but I feel like if he would have never got on that stage and thanked her and said, thank you for holding me down and all that stuff, it's like, okay, you was taunting her. You clearly was taunting her. And it's like, you really thought that your money was long enough to hide all this dirt. And it was for a little bit amount of time. But guess what? Every dog has its day.
I think also when we seen Shine come back into the scene that year, and when he was like giving everybody back their publishing rights, I couldn't help but be like, this is weird. This is strange. And I wonder if she's seen that as an end, like something is about to happen. Let me get on the front end and see like what the street's talking about. And I don't believe her. Honestly, people be like, don't kick a man while he down. Stomp his ass. Like I feel like anybody,
quite literally,
either a predator, any of those things, you deserve all that is coming to you. And it was really only a matter of time because the amount of allegations against that man, from the shooting in the club to people believing he was behind Tupac, Kim Porter. I've been seeing that they're going to open that case back up,
and they should.
Hope they. I'm all for people resting and just getting their rest, but that lady is due her justice, and I feel like even when that happens, Cassie may have to reopen that chapter and really speak up. And it's unfortunate because she's been able to move on, but I think in order for him to really be seen as the monster he is, it's going to require her to open up some wounds that have since healed. And thoughts and prayers to her.
Her and the other baby mothers.
Because remember when Misa came out, remember we on this very podcast was talking about how she needs to hold her son accountable, but it's like she was right. A fish does rot from the head down, and we are starting to see that all of his children might be victims.
You know, because I was thinking about that too. And a part of me feels like his sons have to know what his father was doing. They're old enough. They're in the industry. And for King Combs to put out that whack ass diss track or response or whatever, taunting the feds, taunting 50 Cent, taunting everybody in the industry who has something to say, it's like, oh, you really coming from a privileged mouth. Like you're a kid who
don't know.
No, I think he knows, and he thinks that his daddy's money is long enough and his influence is long enough to keep skating by like how they have been doing this whole time. Because there's no way and you really put that out. Like if he doesn't know, then that's even stupider because like you could at least let your father hear this before you put this out. You know what I'm saying? And if Diddy heard that and still let his son put it out, both y'all know.
They was just trying to make sure the studio couldn't work. It was a practice run.
It should have never came out.
And just didn't put it out.
Yeah, and I think that
he could have kept it.
Yeah, he could have kept that. But there's so many different ways to go with this conversation, and I kind of want to just get it off the whole like Diddy part. But the black men like Slim Thug who sat there and was trying to say that it's an agenda to tear down the black man and all this stuff. It's like, okay, I understand why as a successful black man, you might feel that way. However, it begs me to ask the question, like, why is it that when men, well, let's talk about black men, get into these places of power and come into this money, they turn into monsters and they can't control themselves and all these things. It's like, okay, clearly you know what it feels like to be oppressed and mistreated. You're a black man in America. Exactly. So why now that you're somebody of influence and of power, this is what you decide to do with said influence, power, and resources. You get what I'm saying?
My race.
It's like, why is it when y'all get that power, this is what you decide to do? Not all, but there is a little attitude and ego that comes with those black men in power. I can't think of one who was like, I would be very surprised to hear that he did whatever. You know what I mean?
And black women are always the ones on the receiving end of that rage, that abuse. And I won't say all the time, right? But
right.
It's always a question of, people are always questioning the validity of a black woman's story, or it's always, he was about to buy Cartoon Network and Nick at Night. Like, it's right. always something like that when it comes to the abuse of a black woman. I mean, and for those of y'all who question Cassie's background, like, I don't care.
She's biracial.
Yeah, she's biracial. And there's still Kim Porter. There's still the other mothers of his children. There's still possibly Young Miami, which we don't know for sure because victims look very different across the board. And I seen a tweet about this girl said, how come every time a black man is in a dark space, he always want to beat on women, or he always want to harm women? Why don't y'all get in a dark space and y'all want to punch on other men? And I say, yeah, like, that's so real. It's always in a dark space, and we are supposed to be just so accepting of it. And I think one part that really triggered me watching that video was that he weaponized mental health therapy. I've been going to.
Oh, you're talking about the apology video.
The apology. I've been going to rehab. Okay. And you did what you did. So the public ridicule and all that's coming your way is well deserved, because I'm pretty sure your abuse did not start with Cassie. Like,
and it didn't stop, I'm sure. Because after that video in 2016, y'all still stayed together till what, 2018, 2019? Like,
exactly.
Be for real.
Then I'm hearing even more gruesome, like thinking about the details of everything written. I never want to read that case file again. Like, I never want to read it again. But I'm interested to know what else is going to come down. Because I remember a while ago, this older woman, I like overheard this older woman like just like gossiping. She was talking about how there was something incurable that Diddy gave to somebody or something. So it makes me wonder, all of those stories about him being a sexual deviant, like, is any of that true? Is there any truth to that? Was Kim Porter coming out with a book to tell all of his business?
She does have a book, and there's two people who have copies of that said book. One of them is yeah, I think one of them is no longer alive. No, their friend. Okay, so this is what the tea is. It was three friends. It was Kim Porter, Kimora Lee Simmons, and this lady named Erica. She was like a publicist and a writer. She wrote a book called Bling that was like loosely, not really, but loosely based off of Diddy, a music mogul, and Cassie and Kim Porter and their relationship. The book came out. Apparently, it was like a New York Times bestseller. It did really well. I think just like 2000. It was a long time ago. And then now she's unalived. She's no longer with us. So that's what Kimora was talking about when she was like, I've lost friends to this man, because it's believed that he had something to do with her unaliving. Just how people believe he has some. And people like Diddy is a real Lucius Lyons, allegedly. That's what they're saying. So I'm like,
I believe it.
Honestly, for me, it is interesting to see like the veil of Hollywood unlift, just because like what celebrities and what Hollywood is today isn't what it used to be. Like when we were growing up, kind of obsessing over, I never idolized celebrities, but I've always been interested in celebrities and their lifestyle, because it's like, you're human just like us, but there's something, I don't know, I think there's something about any celebrity, any person in the public eye who live that lifestyle, like mentally, there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the influencer trend, not trend, I don't know what to call it, but I think that has definitely humanized celebrities and helped them understand, like, they're not without fault, you know, they live regular lives too. And I think that our generation may be the first generation to see that, or maybe not the first generation, but it's like a snapback to reality. Like, these are real people. They have real problems. Real shit happens. And I'm actually excited about it, because the way that these motherfuckers get away with stuff, or the way that these allegations come out, and people are just like, no. Like, even, I hate to bring him up on this podcast, but academics saying, like, I get money, I would never have to do something like that. Y'all the niggas that are doing it. Y'all are the niggas that's keeping celebrity attorneys and celebrity reporters like the Bob, what's her name, Megan Kunis. Y'all are keeping those paid because y'all are terrorists. Like, y'all be out here wilding, and just the idea that money means that you can does not mean that you should. And I want you to understand that. Like, the amount of like stories. Did you see Young Boy and Jania video came out too?
What, their hallway hotel video?
Yes.
Oh, that's old. That came out when it happened.
I have never seen it before, and I was just puzzled when I seen it for the first time.
And they were what, 16, 17 at that time?
Yeah. Money just helps y'all to feel like you can get away with these things. It doesn't absolve y'all of the blame. It doesn't make y'all seem like, oh, y'all would never have to do that. I got so much money, I don't gotta beg. I don't have to beg a woman to stay with me, blah blah blah. This man got out of his bed because he heard her tiptoeing away to come and beat her
and drag her back.
Yes, you put your hands
in broad daylight.
And a hotel took your money.
But my thing is, do you know what type of mental state you have to be in to really, I don't want to hear, oh, I was drunk, I was high. You was coherent enough to go in that hallway and keep that towel above your ass so you wouldn't be naked in the hallway. But you didn't think, oh, there might be somebody in this hallway, so let me not come out here acting all irate and crazy. Cassie ain't have no socks nor shoes on. She trying to put her shoes on at the elevator. I'm happy that there was no audio on that video, because imagine the sound. Like, no.
And the rage you have to feel to not even like be concerned if somebody live or die. That's how I know that you are also capable of killing people, because there is no possible way that you kicked that girl in the head and you did all of that and you dragged her back in the room with a clear conscience. I would have been panicking.
Literally, no.
I don't know if this person is dead or alive, or if they're going to die because of the impact of my hit.
He did not give a damn. And then now you see, and I remember this because we talked about this on Snapchat years ago. Yeah, remember that, the Snapchat when him and Cassie would be going on vacation? That one time they was in Dubai or whatever, and she was under the blanket. That video is resurfaced again.
Yes.
And I remember us talking about this back then. Like, that's weird. Like, how drunk or high? Like, what y'all think they over there doing? Why is she under the blanket? Like, I remember us saying that and having that conversation, just to know you're recording her, got the camera up to her, talking about some whatever he was saying in the video, and she's hiding, probably because you just finished beating her ass and abusing her, and she's hiding underneath the blanket. And now, of course, and this is the other thing about the internet, I feel like I think humans are visual visual creatures, but I feel like the internet does not believe or want to take action or do anything until they visibly see it. Now people are going back at old videos and clips of the interactions with Cassie and Diddy and seeing the bruises on her arms and on her legs. It's like, I would hate to be
happy.
Yeah.
Visibly uncomfortable.
And I would hate to see like that on the internet as like a family member, a friend, or the victim. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do think like stuff like that does, I guess, what is it, like awareness, which is not really awareness. It's like proving to the public what's going on. And honestly, clearly Diddy is not going to get his day in court pertaining to assaulting Cassie. Do I think he's going to get his day in court for some other things? Of course. So what's like,
because he's just going to pay it off.
Yeah, but it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, do I want to see these things on the internet? No. But at the same time, we need to see these things on the internet, because if not, he's going to be able to continue to do the things that he's doing. If this video would have never came out, people would have been still, oh, you trying to tear the black man down. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the court of public opinion sometimes can hold justice for victims.
Yeah.
Now,
Like
you know.
They asked for
Yeah.
women and children need to go back to being protected. I don't even know if we ever were protected, but I remember.
Right, because when you think about it now, it's like
people always talk about how if you disrespect a woman or a child, you put your ass whooped in the hood. Okay.
yeah. But even with that, them niggas, yeah, they gonna whip somebody's ass for their child or their, their wifey. But when they go home, they also gonna be whooping your ass. So it's like, just like the concept of like, oh, bring back traditional men. Yeah, but guess what? Your granddaddy had a family down the street. So it's kind of like
a couple of them.
It's all an illusion. Like, I don't. What is true?
Because you got family members.
It's like, what is this quote unquote American dream that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is all this? And I hate to be that person, but this is controversy and chaos. So, I got to say something. And I'm not caping for an abuser. I'm just, posing a question.
Cut her mic, please.
How do I want to phrase this? Now that 2024 has happened and we see all the celebrities, all the men, all of this, all of that, things that have come out, the egregious things, right? If we go back to when the whole R. Kelly situation happened and we look at the quote unquote evidence and testimonies of the said victims, which have now come out to really not be victims, not all of them.
Well, coercion is still a crime.
Right. Yes. So, okay. I agree. I feel like the men in Hollywood allowed R. Kelly to be the sacrifice to hold, not sacrifice in Illuminati way, but sacrifice meaning, sacrifice meaning, go ahead, you take the heat, you get locked up and do all these things, because we know that we are doing the same, if not worse, egregious things to these women and people in the industry. And I think if this was 2024 and we were looking at the R. Kelly situation, yes, he's wrong for dealing with underage women across the board, however he was doing it, whatever. He's wrong for all those things. Right. But there has been proven, all these different things, that there was no like physical abuse. Mental abuse, sure. Mental abuse. Women being manipulated. But a lot of the women came out and said they came and went as they pleased. Like they weren't, what's it called? What did he say? They wasn't hog-tied in the basement. Manipulated? Yes. Mentally abused? Yes. But even with that, a lot of the younger girls, their parents, we saw the text messages come out about a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl, her parents sending there to be with him saying, yeah, you better make sure you give him all your goodies or he's going to send you home. So it's like, did the crime really fit the time and the scrutiny compared to what we know and what we see now?
No, I still think it does. And I'm saying that because he's not in jail for each individual case. He's in jail for kidnapping people. Like, he's in jail for very specific things right now. And I wish that I'd like pulled it up, but I didn't think about it. But there are things that I still believe he needs to be in jail for. I think that there's also some accountability on the parents. And I feel like people have been saying this, but they have been saying it in these parents need to be held accountable, not R. Kelly kind of way. No. Lock everybody. Lock everybody up. And I still believe that he should be publicly ostracized, because if we don't do our job at making people feel it publicly, people like Diddy continue to go on thinking that they can go unscathed. Like, you cannot abuse, you cannot sexually manipulate, coerce. You cannot do those things to people and think that your money is what's going to help you get away, or however you had it set up where the parents were compliant. If we just allow that to go on because, oh, it was allowed, or oh, we got text messages, I think that this will never end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching the documentary and just being like, I don't understand how people could be so desperate for fame and fortune that they would sacrifice their own children. But I
Mm-hmm.
learned that there are some very sick people in the world. And I'm pretty sure everybody has heard this saying before. If you keep putting up with it, people will think that you enjoy it. You like it.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I feel like that way of thinking has been used when it comes to victims as a way to say, well, like they liked it. But we talking about 16 and 17-year-olds whose minds are impressionable. They're going to do what their parents tell them to do.
Mm-hmm. Or what
So,
they think is right at the time, or what
right.
feels right at the time.
I think that when it comes to very impressionable children, yeah, the whole documentary, he needs to be in jail. He's a sick man, and I think sick is even being kind. I don't think that there's anybody, regardless of upbringing, childhood trauma, I don't think that you need to be out here in these streets. In fact, if somebody gave me a big rock, I would throw it at his head. Yeah. Rest in peace, Diddy, and I hope that you get everything you deserve. I still have not forgotten about how you had them grown ass men walk to Junior's to get you a cheesecake that I don't even recall you eating. I don't know. And it was just so unnecessary. So if a man could go that far, I know that you can go further. I hope that D Barnes, Michelet, and all the rest of the people who have been abused at the hands of men who are powerful and have money get everything, get all of their things. And even when they get those things, I know that it will never be enough to amount to the pain endured while they were being abused. Yeah.
Mm.
Why do I
Nicely
always
put.
read them at the end of a conversation? Like that was not the purpose. I just really hate it. Like I hate everything about this Diddy situation, especially how he got up there and was just like, all the lies will be revealed. What lies, nigga?
Oh, your lies are being revealed, sir.
Like, what lies?
Listen, honestly, there's going to be more to talk about regarding this Diddy situation. More is going to be revealed, and we're going to have to revisit it again. So for now, honestly, I feel like I'm done with the Diddy thing. We can't escape it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
shout out to the psychic lady that told us
Sloan Bella.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I will say I hope certain things that she's predicting to happen does not come out, because I do not want to lose Jay-Z or Beyonce. So Sloan, if you ever got anything wrong, please get their situation. Like, just be wrong about that.
I'm really hoping that Jay-Z is just at home watching The Price is Right with Remy and Sir, and that he does, because I can see, right, like everybody in the industry was messing with the young Fonz.
Mm-hmm.
And is it wrong? Absolutely. I think that Jay-Z would get caught up in some shit like that, like he was messing with Aaliyah, all of that. But all of the
Aaliyah,
stories,
Foxy Brown.
yeah, all of them stories, like I'd be okay, right? Like I'd be okay for him getting in trouble, you need to get popped on your head.
Mm.
We need to talk about it on a different level of everybody in the industry was doing this. It wasn't okay, because I even feel like, who was that? It was a rapper recently. Oh, it was Metro. Metro was talking about his dealings with Drake, and he was like, if I say something, it's gonna make us all look crazy. Yeah, we need to have more conversations about y'all doing stuff that y'all know better than to do.
Mm-hmm.
All the rappers. Y'all need to sit down and talk about why y'all be out here wilding. I wouldn't be upset at that. But when it comes to like murder and stuff like that, it's twofold. It's like, I want everybody to get their justice. But if this is something that happened with their street life, it's also
that's
like,
different.
yeah, it's different. It's inevitable, and it's still unfortunate. Because Jay-Z, I don't want you going down for killing a woman that you had dealings with, and then you ended up marrying Beyonce. Like, I don't want that story to unfold like that.
Yeah,
That's
no.
like a little bit too much for my heart to take. And I don't want to have to dislike you. And not saying like we talk about cancel culture all the time, but like I don't think it's so much of me canceling somebody. I think just like morally, like how people talk about, oh, y'all, none of y'all can listen to R. Kelly. I can. It's like, yeah, but when I listen to the words of some of them songs, and I remember on that documentary they was telling us when these songs was made, I can't connect to that music no more. Like, I really, at the heart of it, I don't care what y'all do. Just don't make it be people personality traits. Be like, I'm still listening to this. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you don't have to announce it, because I'm not gonna lie, there's plenty of time Stepped in the Name of Love and R. Kelly songs was definitely played at my wedding.
Yeah.
And people were definitely dancing, and it's just kind of one of those things. Like Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. No, I can't really listen to that. I can't really listen to Aaliyah's music, period.
You're right. My G. Please.
Yeah. Like certain things that insinuate talking about young girls. And honestly, that's even happening now with Drake, because people are pulling up some of the songs, and it's like, well, I remember hearing that thinking, that's weird,
What
but
are you
whatever.
talking about?
Like,
right.
yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of like,
it's the same across the board.
Certain songs really not going to hit the same. Do I think that we can get rid of some of these people's entire catalogs? No. Like, if you got rid of R. Kelly catalog, that's B2K, that's Kelly Price, that's Michael Jackson, Celine Dion. You get what I'm saying? Like, some of those big songs that are engraved in Black culture, it's like, we going to get rid of all this shit because you want to be a nasty nigga? Yeah. No.
Black people.
Anyway, let's move on to something else that was pretty viral on the TikTok, and honestly on Instagram too, probably, but mainly TikTok. You know, the billionaires are saying that Black wives are for grown-ups. And of course, you also been seeing the Black wife effect. And clearly the common denominator here is just that Black women, women of color, what have you, Black women are clearly the prize. And I know a lot of us educated, elite Black women do not like to be looked at as a trophy wife or a prize, but but we are, okay? We are the prize, we are the goods. And if a billionaire said it, I mean, clearly. But what do you think? What do you think about that? Let's start with the Black wife effect. Like, why? Honestly, I feel torn about it. So let me just go first with the whole Black wife thing. I have both my sister-in-laws are married to white men. Okay. I don't really see the whole Black wife effect necessarily with my brother-in-laws. They are who they've been since I've known them. So it's kind of like, I don't really see the Black wife thing. I do think there are certain cultural things that they might look at now, and it's like, oh yeah, my family did that. There's clearly a better way to do that. Or, oh, seasoning this food, eating Ghanaian food, eating this, washing your feet with a sponge. Like, you know, there are certain things that's like culturally that I think a Black woman will bring into any man that she's with, even some Black men. Or even if you're looking at it like through ethnicities or culturally, like you have a Jamaican wife and you're Black American, there's certain things that your Black American household is going to become a Jamaican household. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like as the matriarch of the house, you're going to have an effect as a woman. Right. Just how in interracial couples where the woman's white, there's going to be effect on those said children. People laugh all the time how you can tell the biracial kids who got a Black mama versus a white mama. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yes, there is a Black effect on any relationship, any household, anything. But I personally don't like in interracial couples where the not so seasoned person is now taking on this whole persona just because you were a Black girl.
Yeah, it bothers
me. I don't like that.
Too. It's like, why does that make you more Black or white? Like, why does that make you more relatable because you got tattoos? And
right. you're down because you now have tattoos. White boys got tattoos. They have tattoos all the time. Like,
and there is a persona. Like, it really, we can tell. And I don't know if it bothers me so much, but it kind of it has the potential to give me the ick. Now, I will say, I have never dated a white man, but I often say if I was to date a white man, he would have to be Creole, spicy white. He got to be spicy white.
What about Shia LaBeouf?
No, first of all, Shia LaBeouf is underwater because of his abuse towards FKA.
Him too?
Yeah. I learned that yesterday. I had no idea. I was like, am I not hip? Did I miss something?
Like,
he.
Okay, who's the next spicy white fine man? Okay, go ahead. Somebody else.
The white guy from Shameless. The husband.
Oh.
He got that look.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake. Not now. Not present day Justin Timberlake. I would date him now. I don't know. It's this guy on TikTok. He from New Orleans, and I'm like, I hope I.
Yes.
You know which one I'm talking about? His father. Baby, I'm extremely shocked. Like, hi. Are you looking for a lady?
Please.
I am fertile and ready to bring upon a heir to the throne.
All right, Little Caesars. Anyway.
No, it's my. I've been watching Bridgerton. I just finished the season, so that's why I got it.
No, I'm still on season 2. Anyway.
But yes, white man. You don't have to look spicy. You can just be you. So yeah, I think it gives me the ick because it suggests that there is a look and there's not a look. Like, black people don't have a look. We are not a monolith. All of us are different. So it's a little weird. But I guess they could say the same thing about like the soft life bad wig. But like,
this is the equivalence to that.
To be true, the wig be bad. The wig be real bad.
Yeah. But I think that this might be another little controversial take, but I do think that sometimes when you are dating outside of your race, there are certain things that you don't worry about. Now, there are other things that you have to worry about, but I feel like Black people, when it comes to appearance, we are the most judgmental and the most focused on looks and physical. So I think sometimes in the Black community, if you're not put together a certain way, if you're not, wearing certain types of hairstyles, if you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you as a woman, you're not seen as desirable. Whereas other cultures and ethnicities don't really look at it that way. They look at other things, which could be just as toxic, but it's not the same.
Yeah. I don't know. I think to add on to what you said, or to comment on what you said about the Black women after grown men or for adults. I seen the topic come up, right? I initially was just like, this goes back to niggas. But I don't want to be that person that be like, I hate niggas. It's not that. But we have been talking for so long about how Black men get on and they choose white women or racially ambiguous. And I think that while people are going on TikTok and saying like, oh, y'all need a white man to show y'all that appreciation, it's also like, give them their things. Like, it is okay for them to feel that way. Because the way y'all pounced on Serena for marrying a white man, but y'all don't do the same when other men of her caliber are marrying white women or dealing with having children with white women, it's just so telling that we are just not appreciated. And so,
and even with that, yeah,
as a Black woman, I do feel like Black women are for adults. I'm not dumping on white women when I say this, and this is a Black woman's podcast. I really don't give a fuck how y'all feel. But everybody know that it is a gift to have a beautiful Black woman on your arm. We bring so much to the table. And to his point, I think that Black women should start being seen as investments. We are worth investing in. And I will forever stand behind the fact that if you have a Black woman on your side, there's nothing that you can do. I'm not a white woman. I don't desire to be a white woman. I've never lived as a white woman. In fact, in my past life and in the future one, I'm probably a butterfly or something. Because God said she is too powerful to be a white woman. And so I think that only grown people can handle black women. Because when we step, we step. And I don't subscribe to the thought that we need a white man to tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to believe, sure. But I think that it's about time somebody knows because y'all in words do not.
But do you think it's just because, again, controversial? I think a lot of times because we as Black people are the oppressed,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's hard to get through that barrier of communication with men or with, like, you know, men against women sort of thing, because men have their ego, but Black women, we have our ego as well, because we're always constantly tugging and pulling in, headbutting, because we all want to see our people get to a certain level. Yeah. Most of us want to see our people get to a certain level. So it's that push and pull. And it's like, yes, we as Black women are strong because we're made to be over generations, but we also want to live that soft life, but we don't really know how to get there all the time. And Black men, sure, they do want to be leaders and do these things, but they don't really know how to get there all the time. So I can see how a non-melanated man or a less melanated man could get with the Black woman and not feel threatened by that power, because they walk in a world where they don't have to be. You get what I'm saying? Not to cape for the man, not to cape for the Black man, but I'm just saying, no Dr. Umar. But I'm just saying, I understand the psyche of why there is so much turmoil between Black men and Black women. So I just want us as a community.
A white woman will be able to easily just be submissive because there's no like generational like drawback, I guess, which is not always true. I can't even say that. That's why them hoes got us in the workplace now, because they were fighting against patriarchy.
So yeah, but their level of patriarchy and our level of, their fight is not our fight. Sorry. And that's why maybe we can have this conversation one day. I don't identify as a feminist. I identify as a woman that believes in women's rights, but I do think that on the surface level and base level of feminism, I do think that sometimes that messaging is very detrimental for the Black community and Black families. So I can't really say that I'm always standing behind that. Their fight is not our fight. We need our own Black feminist thing. And that's which we do have, but you know.
But so this is interesting, right? Because I serve on a coalition, a reproductive justice coalition, and one of the main things we always argue about is y'all version of reproductive justice don't look like our version of reproductive justice. And ironically, I revisited reading Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. And she talked at great lengths about how, sure, white women was fighting to get into the workplace, but that wasn't our fight. We weren't trying to get into the workplace. We was already in the workplace. We wanted fair wages. We wanted to not be a white woman's footstool or something for a white man to lay with. Like, that was our fight. And it was just so like, okay, the white women came in and they wanted to work. So that was the rule across the board. There was no deep dive into what allowing white women to do things have been pushed down for us. So I think that there's some truth. I don't agree that feminism is toxic to Black families. I think that the original
some of the messaging
of feminism has set us back in many ways because it always put the Black woman at the bottom of the list of priorities.
Right.
And it has never said, what about her? So I
feel like we're just now getting our 10s, really. And I will say, like, right. Right. So it's, I don't know. It's a tricky thing. But I also think that, like, there's something very, like, pure and authentic about a Black woman. And honestly, most of us are going to hold your ass to the fire. So if you could withstand that fire, baby, you gonna be that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna hold you accountable. Some of us might not do it in the softest of ways, but sometimes certain situations don't call for a soft hand. It calls for a hard one.
And
so
that is for grown men.
Exactly.
People who are willing, and they might have had some racial undertones about women, Black women, and their attitude. Right? Like, even if somebody wanted to say that, I'd be like, all right, I get it, but it's not wrong. Like you said, we hold people to the fire. Not all. I literally just had a conversation with somebody.
Not all of us, but
not all of us. Unfortunately, I do not agree with all bitches. Some of y'all hoes is dumb, but some of y'all are a little off. But I just had a conversation with somebody, and I was telling them about what they were asking me. They was like, "Why don't you think this person like? Why you think y'all don't get along?" And I was like, "Because I don't play that shit. Like, I just don't play that. I'm going to cause you to question yourself. You might even hate yourself when I'm done with you, because I would want somebody who said that they care about me to feel the same way. Like, you need to hold me to the fire. Make me be not make me be responsible, but remind me that I have responsibility. I have this obligation to whoever and whatever, and I can't just go pussyfooting around the world. And I think that the world would be much better if people stop pussyfooting
around. Yeah.
So yeah, get you a Black woman. It might save your life, honestly. Wait.
What?
Mother of Diddy's child hints at trauma. Their father needs help.
Oh yeah, I saw that post.
Who was that?
Misa.
Oh, and you know what? This goes out to that fat Kelly Price bitch. Let me tell you something. Don't you? All right, maybe not fat Kelly Price. This goes to Kelly Price. Stop bringing religion into everything. God is not going to forgive Diddy and allow him to re-enter society, okay? God, y'all be playing on his top. I feel like people play on his top too much. They feel like God is sweet. They feel like the Lord is sweet as well. They think that they just going to commit a crime and then go to their prayer closet and be like, I'm sorry, forgive me. No. He gonna get his lick back too. You did what to my daughter? You did what to my son? Watch this. And I feel like people bring God into things as a way to, once again, absolve themselves or absolve other people of the blame for things. You kill people, you harm people, you rob people of their money, and you've humiliated people. You are for sure going to hell. You are, and I think that lesser crimes, right? Like, I don't really know. I don't work for God. Like, I work for him, but he not my immediate report. So I don't really know how his process and workflows go, but there has to be some type of boundary of your offense. Like, I really strongly believe that people who kill and people who rape, I don't think that they get probation, right? I don't think they get a probationary period or a warning letter. I think that when you kill or you rape or you harm babies, I think it's an immediate termination. I think that he'd just be like, here's your pink slip. If
so there's no rehabilitation for those offenses.
No. I don't think you go see the board. I think HR is real strict around there. So when people like Kelly Price go up there on the internet, on Beyonce's internet, and start talking about like, oh yeah, God sees you, God forgives you, all of this other shit. Like, do you forget that he hid you in a video because he said you were too fat to be on camera? But he stood his black ass next to Biggie. Y'all have a very interesting memory, okay? Y'all really have and it's them time and place Christians. I'm gonna call them time and place Christians. They really blow my mind at the things that we're willing to forget. And it's always black men. Like, please stop caping for black men who deserve nothing less but a cot on a hard floor. Please send that nigga to jail. And in fact, he probably won't be going to jail, which is the reality of it. But I think he deserves his public shame. Talking about let's work together. No.
Yeah, no. Diddy's never working again. Not
Ever.
publicly. Not
The world
publicly.
snatched them fucking endorsements from him. I'm surprised he's not eating tuna out of a can right now.
Like, how you had to step down from Revolt. You are Revolt. Like,
the board member said, nah, we're good, actually. I'm going to need you to go.
Yeah, man.
And Carisha being a scapegoat, that's another story for another day.
Yeah, more will be revealed.
Weird.
She could be all of the above.
Yeah, like I hate to like be like you're gay. Like we're coming upon Pride Month too. That's not what I'm trying to get. But I was for sure she was a beard. Because we all know that God forbid you're gay and you are a mogul in Hollywood. Hollywood is not as progressive. It's just not.
Especially Black Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to keep the gays behind the booths doing the hair and the makeup and the styling. That's it.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're giving Law Roach his 10s.
They don't have a choice because that's a bad bitch.
He don't miss. Law Roach don't miss. I will sell my eggs to have him style me.
Yeah.
I will sell my eggs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of fashion and styling, prom season, I think, is finally come to a close, or it should be ending this week. I don't know. I don't know what the high schoolers and teeny boppers are up to, but, you know, we have been seeing their outfits like we do every year. And the Black community, of course, is always in an outrage about prom. And I saw an interesting TikTok, and I want to know what you think. So basically, the TikToker was saying how a lot of people in the Black community view prom as like this thing because it's our coming of age thing. And when I heard that, I said, I don't think it's that, because Black people do have sweet 16s, okay? Black people do have debutante balls and cotillions. Even in the hood, there are sweet 16s and coming of age things. So I don't think that's why Black people see prom that way. And then there were the people who said, oh, well, Black people don't get married as higher rates, so this is their wedding. That was their logic. Like, you know, this baby showers and prom is their weddings. That's the other theory. I don't really too much agree with that. Why do I feel like prom is such a thing in the Black community? I don't. I think it's regional. I think this is a Southern thing to the lens of where we see it online. I think it's more so Southern and maybe like New York, New Jersey. But anytime you see these videos go viral, it's either in the South, the Mississippis, the Floridas, the Texas, the Louisianas, or it's New Jersey or New York. I don't think every state, like for example, growing up in Maryland, I went to prom 2 or 3 times. It was nothing like that. It doesn't even matter that it was in 2011, because even when you went to high school, your prom was like that. You grew up in New Jersey.
Who, me? Yeah, my prom was, the outfits were, looking back, they were,
my prom was not like that growing up in the suburbs or in Maryland.
Yeah.
Even the girls that I knew that didn't grow up in the suburbs, that lived in like Baltimore or DC, their proms was not like that. I think it's very much so a regional thing, like depending on, you know, where you're at. But why do you think we as Black people are in such an uproar about what these kids are deciding to do with their money and their time?
Yeah. Well, 2 things. So I think that although I think we see Black kids have the opportunity to have sweet 16s and they go to cotillions, but I think it's a small number of them because a lot of Black families can't afford sweet 16s and cotillions.
True. Mm-hmm.
So I do think that for those who are able to, it's a privilege. And so those who are not in those social circles, because debutante balls and cotillions are a social circle thing for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people who are not, they go to prom and they go all out. That is number one. that is their coming to age moment. And also, we have to remember there are not a lot of creative outlets where one would be able to wear what we wear to prom or do what we do for prom. Like, what other opportunities do kids have to get their hair all dolled up, wear makeup, rent a car, buy shoes and heels, and that day is just about them as a teenager? So I think that I personally hate to see adults get on the internet and be like, "Oh, y'all had all of this money to do this, but y'all got to take out loans." Like that's what I've been seeing a lot of.
Oh, I haven't seen that. It's just been more so like, why are you spending this amount of money?
Yeah.
Not loans, but
Pocket watching bothers me so much in general. But I think that it's only an issue when it comes to Black people. Because
but before you keep going, I do feel like if you are spending $7,000, $8,000, $5,000, all these thousands of dollars to send your kid to prom, and they are living in the hood, and there ain't nothing wrong with the hood, but I'm saying if you are living in impoverished areas and you are struggling to pay that rent, and you want government assistance, struggling to pay that governmental assistant rent, and you can't buy your kid a car or do this or do that, but you're spending that type of money on one day, I think that is asinine. Especially if that kid is going to college and is going to struggle in college and have to work and do this and that. I do think that's crazy.
Not be able to go to college because you ain't got it right. I do think that people have a very hard time with balancing priorities. They don't understand the value of a dollar, or they do understand the value of a dollar. But I know firsthand, like the programs that I've worked with in the city, there's so many programs that just try to get people to save a dime a month. So I know that that's just not in our wheelhouse. It's not something that people understand how to do until it is like a one-off situation. Like, we got to show up, we got to show out. But then that goes back to my whole spill about creative outlets. And like, this might be the only time, like I reason with the families, because this might be the only time that you are able to give your child something. And as a parent of a toddler, I don't know what it feels like to have to tell my child, no, you can't go to a social event with your friends. And no, you can't have this one moment to feel beautiful. So I understand why families go all out. I don't think that, and I always say this, I will not go broke for Sweet 16. Sorry, kid. Like, but I also, I'm not even there yet. I'm at the 5th birthday party, and I'm stressing because I want it to be big, but I also know the value of a dollar. Like, I'm not in public housing. I do have a little something jiggling out in the bottom of my pocket, but I know better than to go broke over a birthday party. I know better than to go broke now. But if I was in that situation, I would probably feel like my kid already does not have half the opportunities of people in the suburbs. What can I do to make them feel better about this situation? So it's a sticky situation.
Yeah, I do understand that, but there has to be limits. There has to be limits.
I think that
or there should
is that we shouldn't even have to choose between our children's happiness and keeping the lights on or sending them to college. I think that's the broader conversation.
I mean,
when we start talking about like limiting things, as a parent, I don't think there's any limit when it comes to the things to make your children happy. And I think that's where it becomes. And I hear people when they say that this is just the opportunity for the parents to flex. Correct. Because there's no reason why a girl came to prom at Mondawmin that one year in a helicopter. Like, some things are ridiculous. Sawed, Auntie Sawed, Country Cooking, she rented camels that one year for her son. Like, there are some things that are absolutely over the top, but I enjoy it.
I enjoy the circus, but I also watch Zeus. So, I mean, what do you want me to say about that?
Well, I see it as a circus.
It is a circus.
Expression. And
but I think
groups coming out the door of the projects before the girls come out. Like,
I enjoy them. I enjoy them, but I do think that it's tricky because even for me, like, yes, I grew up in the suburbs, and I went to multiple proms. I had my dress. I had my things. It was a different time. But I think even now, if I was going to prom, my parents would still put limitations on those things.
They are financially, they make sound financial decisions. But can I, maybe this will help, like,
What?
show where I'm coming from. My neighbor's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
she's not black. She is in dance and she's in theater at her school.
Mm-hmm.
She showed me all her costumes for her dance, and she was like doing tech for the theater program.
Mm-hmm.
The schools that are local to me have theater programs, but they hardly have the money to put on a show like Grease or Annie, which are productions that my neighbor's child has been able to do through her school. So there
Mm-hmm.
are community programs that help them to put on community play. Going to community play this week. If there was not a need for kids to have this type of creative expression, that community program would not exist. I think that this is the perfect case study for why we got to be a little bit more lenient when it comes to these moments where children are actually able to be the center of attention or to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps the parents are going to great lengths and spending massive amounts of money. I don't even remember how much my prom dress cost, but in 2024 money, it was probably like $5,000. I think I spent like $800 on my dress, and that was insane.
In 2024 money,
that was probably like $5,000. $800 back then was probably like $5,000. And my dress ain't got nothing on the girlies now. They got embellishment. Is it called?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Embroidery.
And the dresses are so nice. I would have been at prom crying because ain't no way, boy. Not in 2024. But I'm gonna have to stand by the Justice for Black Girls on Instagram. They did a very good job at talking about how people police children's creativity, and so that's why I'm 10 toes down in this.
But we can't find a more cost-effective way to do that.
No.
Child.
Designers, they gotta pay their rent. They work.
You're right. You're right.
To get that fabric, and they taxing.
Mm-hmm.
They make you pay for the train ticket. You getting the carrier fee for putting the bag on their arm.
Yes, everybody got to make their coin.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. When my kids' time come and when y'all kids' time come, exactly. We're going all out. However,
it might be a donation pot going around. I'm pretty sure
there has to be some type of a limit. Like renting a car is not a big deal. Go ahead, rent the car. Now, renting, what's one of them, like a Ferrari? That might be a little. I don't know. It gets a little dicey. I think everything needs to have limits. Express yourself. Do what you want to do, but baby, please, I don't want to go broke. Okay, I don't want to go broke.
And I understand. I don't think I'll be going broke either, but
there's always a smarter, more cost-effective way to do this and get the same outcome. If we have to call in an auntie for some DIY projects, baby, we're going to do it. If we're going to have to haggle some numbers down, baby, we're going to haggle.
But no, I'm not buying me a dress from the store. I'm just laying out.
Well, no, that's fine. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a custom. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a custom dress, but like, I think in total spending thousands of dollars, like paying a small wedding price on a prom, I think is just a little crazy. Mm-hmm. But
I don't got no pinky toe in that face.
We're gonna see in a couple years.
Yeah.
You know.
No, we gonna have a pool party too soon.
Okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm with the shits. You know how I am. Like, even the littlest thing, I'm going to do it at maximum capacity. But I just think that you need to live within your means and bounds and finances. And it's just not smart to do these things. So I want the girls to do. Anyway.
It does. Well, it goes out the window when it's a matter of what you want.
That's true. Not healthy. But speaking of things not being healthy, and this is the last thing I got for us today. So if you got anything else, you can throw it in. But I think it's very unhealthy how people just love to go on the internet and drag Meg Thee Stallion for nothing. First, it was coming at her for her tour tickets being $24. Now, when I went to go look, because I had bought my ticket already, and I said, my ticket was not that expensive, but it definitely was not no $24. So I went and I looked, and I'm like, oh, this is a Live Nation little deal, and the tickets was high up in the nosebleed to the point, baby, if you bought me those tickets, I'm not going. I mean, no shade. I'm just saying, I'm not. It was up there, okay? Yeah. So those tickets being $24, cool. But it's like, why y'all running with this narrative and then saying, oh yeah, her
she can't
audience don't. Yeah, baby, look at the room. Or saying
so many dates that she had to add something.
Exactly. Or the fact that they're saying, oh, her fans don't know her music. Like, y'all are really like clipping and trying to come up with every narrative to really tear her down. I don't understand it. When are they just gonna let her live? My only complaint before you go, my only complaint with this whole Meg Thee Stallion tour is the fact that Beyonce has spoiled the world. I wanted a theme or some type of color scheme or some type of something. It's been hard to try to find an outfit. I found some outfits, and when they get here, we're going to see what I want to wear that day. But that's my only complaint so far. I saw the song listing, and there are maybe 2 songs that I wish she would add on there, but I think she did a good job of mixing like mixtape through current Meg. And I just feel like people are finding a reason to be upset, honestly.
Honestly, I have no notes. I think that people are haters. People, like, even when Charlamagne went on the radio and all of them, they was talking about like how she's not an arena artist. Everywhere she's performing is an arena.
They said that?
Sold out. Yeah. I'm like, she sold out Madison Square Garden. Like her favorite artist probably could never. I don't understand where the hate or why the hate, but this just goes back to my whole thing about people just taking issue with anything Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Black women. Or if it's easy, if you're an easy target, I should say, because they didn't do this for Nicki. Like, I really feel like everybody was like standing behind Nicki. My only complaint about the Meg tour and my show didn't come up yet. I haven't gone yet. Is the clips, the sound in the clips.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, did y'all do sound check? Because this sounds horrible.
Yeah, but it sounds horrible through the phone. But what is it going to sound like in person?
Yeah, I hope it sounds better.
Yeah, I did notice that. It's like the mic and like the actual music sounds very low.
Yeah, I'm like, do the cities have a noise ordinance or something? Do they need to get parked on the phone? They need to loan y'all some speakers. Like, I'm excited because it seems like everybody, even though she didn't pick a theme, I feel like everybody stuck to mixtape Meg outfits. And that's what I'm most excited about, because my outfit is a mixtape Meg outfit. Real bad.
I can't wait to see it. Text it to me, because I have 2 options. I think I
too fancy.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to see. So I go see Meg next week. Well, Trey and I are going to see Meg next week, and then you're going the week after. So I'm excited. I will deliver everyone's assignments as far as content. So make sure you guys are following us on the socials, because we are going to do concert outfit of the days. Not outfit of the days, but your outfit for the concert. Mm-hmm. You could do a little, I don't know if it get ready with me would make sense, but I'm still thinking about it, because I'm really trying to put y'all heifers to work.
I'm gonna order a battery pack, because I know my phone.
And I want to do like, okay, the audience, y'all can hear this. I want to get clips of like all of us singing at the concert certain songs and like blend them together and make a real cute edit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put my little editing skills to work.
Content coming soon, especially of me eating. I feel like my fits are very, y'all know I'm not like the, I don't know. I feel like I'm not like the, I'm about to throw this shit on. Like, I really dress for comfort, and I try to throw a little bit of me in.
Do you?
I think so.
She's lying.
With my new size, there are a lot of things in fast fashion that just, now I know will look right on me and look good on me and what don't. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that I'm wearing anything extravagant, but I definitely think some of the fits are giving rich auntie. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's going to look like Hoochie Mama at Essence Fest.
Okay.
We're going to get Hoochie at Essence Fest, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Hoochie Mama at Essence Fest.
I'm down for it. So, you guys, make sure you're following all of us on our socials, our individual socials, and the Controversy and Chaos podcast, Instagram and TikTok, because we are pretty active for the most part. And if there are any topics or anything you guys want to hear us talk about, let us know. I mean, we love to flap our gums, but we want to know what you guys want to listen to. So make sure you drop them in the comments or send us an email. It was a great time, and we'll see you. Send us something. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Later.